And now we're going to talk about Korea. The Korean War is the first hot war of the Cold War on the 25th of June, 1950. 90,000 North Korean soldiers launched an attack on South Korea. This was seen as an example of Soviet expressionism. Now you're going to see a lot of things being associated with the Soviets throughout the entire Cold War. Everything is. It was thought that if action was not taken, the USA's credibility in resisting communism would be undermined, as well as there being a fear of the domino effect. The domino effect was, basically, if the US lost Korea to the communists, Asia would slowly become communist, one piece after another, as Truman put it. The US decided force was the only way. The USA sponsored a resolution in the UN for military action against North Korea. At the time, the USSR was boycotting the Security Council because Communist China was not allowed in. So they were unable to vote against the resolution, and in their absence, it was passed on the 27th of June, 1950. So, 1st of July, U.S. troops arrived in Korea. 15 other nations tagged along, and they were all led by UN Commander General Douglas MacArthur, who was an American. And now I'm going to just break down what happened in the Korean War. So, General MacArthur led UN forces in an amphibious landing at Incheon. Amphibious means they came by sea. Within a month, he had retaken Seoul, and North Koreans were pushed to the 38th parallel. War aims of the U.S. were redefined. Containment became rollback. China joined in. The 27th of November, 1950, China joined the party. This was because China was feeling threatened around her borders, as rollback meant military getting dangerously close to the Yalu River. Then there was a stalemate along the 38th parallel where nothing much changed. And then Truman realized containment was a better idea. MacArthur disagreed. So he was fired. Don't disagree with the president. In 1951, peace talks began with a focus on repatriation of prisoners of war. Repatriation is sending someone back to his or her own country. Then the war continued for another 2 years. 40% of the casualties were American, and America threatened China with the A-bomb. Like they cared. Finally, a military armistice was signed, July 1953, at Panmunjom. You might be wondering, what did Russia have to do with it? Well, honestly, not that much. Kim Il-sung, the leader of North Korea at the time, was believed to be influenced by Moscow. At the beginning of 1950, Stalin gave his approval for Kim Il-sung's plan for war with South Korea, but he warned them not to expect great assistance and support from the Soviet Union, because it had more important challenges to meet than the Korean problem. He then went on to say, if you get kicked in the teeth, I will not lift a finger. You will have to ask Mao for all the help. So, Stalin supported Kim, but he didn't really care. Safe to say, Stalin was not influencing Kim. So the US was just being a silly paranoid doing silly paranoid things. The results of Korea. 4 million people died, mainly Korean, 1 million South Koreans in that number. 44,000 US troops were lost, 5 million people were left homeless. SEATO, Southeast Asia Treaty Organization, was formed. It was a parallel to Berlin, basically. NATO was made for anti-commie containment in Europe, Germany. And now SEATO was made for anti-communist containment in Asia. UN proved its ability to resist aggression better than the Sissy Girls League of Nations could ever dream to. I'm being rudely interrupted at the moment.
Hello!
She's actually making fun of me for doing this.
Oh my. Now do it. Everyone's gonna love it a lot more. Everyone's gonna love it so much more. So you don't have to see you.
Are you done?
That they can watch me and I'll like pretend that's so cool. My thumb is like, whoa, move.
Yeah, it's really detailed.
You can steal my thumb. And now back to our I study this for you.
China was put on the map as a power in Asia. The Soviets had given ground to China, and they also decided to never skip out on a UN meeting ever again. You might be wondering what the effects of all this was on the Cold War. Well, it caused the globalization of the Cold War. It became USA versus USSR, spreading to Asia as well as being in Europe. It was also the militarization of the Cold War. Military spending everywhere shot up. See Arms Race, that's coming later. It's really funny. If you find that kind of thing funny.
Ha ha.
Thank you.